It is April. I am finally here. The garden's ready to go. I don't think I'm going to plant anything. I think we're just going to let things just go this year. Let the garden rest. Ha! April Fools. April's going to be a busy month. Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Gardening and Crocs. I'm Doug CrocGardener here. Hope everybody is doing fine and well. Hope everybody's surviving all the storms that have been going on out there. I've had storms going on here. We had tornado warning last night. Had a lot of wind damage at other places. But I will say, my little hoop house, my little winter garden hoop house I got over the potatoes, stayed put. No problems. Of course, that guy's only like that tall off the ground. But hey, it is what it is. But today we're going to go through and we're going to discuss on what I'm going to do in April. What are my plans for April? What seeds am I starting? What plants am I going to put out in the garden? What am I going to hold off on till May? We're going to go through this whole and comprehensive list here. So first off, let's start with what I'm not planting in April. There is a ton of stuff that's going to be going on in April. April is going to be a huge month for the garden, so we're going to be pretty busy. But the first thing I'm going to go through here is what I'm not going to plant in April. And basically these are going to be things that are going to take a little bit of time to warm up. And they definitely need a warm soil to go into. And that's going to be my peppers. I'm not going to bring any of my peppers out until I know that the ground temperature is way above 50 or 60 degrees. And that way they have a place to flourish. Those peppers are pretty sensitive to the cold environment. So I probably won't bring those out. One, I don't have anything ready yet because I started them late. Another thing that we're going to wait and do a pause on is going to be my melon seeds. I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit warmer, and then we'll plant those guys out. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. But anyways, we're going to wait to plant those guys outside once it gets a little bit warmer. And sweet potato slips. The sweet potatoes, they love the warm weather. They don't like the cold weather. So we're going to wait till that gets up a little bit warmer, and we're going to plant those guys outside. Those guys will all probably be planted out in May. Oh, and we have a bunch of okra that we are going to plant out this year. That little sticker on there. I don't know if you guys know that guy or not, but yeah, we're going to plant a bunch of this okra out this year. We're going to see how this Texas Zone 9A okra does in here in 6B. So we'll see how that works. So the other thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be replanting some things that I planted in March. Now, a couple of things that I planted in March were peas, radishes, cabbage, spinach, lettuce, and turnips. I'll probably all succession plant those. So that way I have a continuous harvest of fresh things. So we'll probably do that in early April. I do have some cool hardy flowers I'm going to plant from seed outside. One of them, a good example of that would be the sweet alyssum flower. Any chamomile you have can be planted if you haven't planted it already. Also, I'll have some potatoes that I try to get in. Usually I try to do that I was told by an old man at one point in time, actually one of my mom's uncles, to get your sweet potatoes planted on Good Friday. So usually I try to do it around that weekend. I know that can be a little bit early, but it takes a while for those guys to come up, and I think it'll do them some good. So I think this year we'll try it out and see how that works. Now, our last frost date here is April 18th. So that's about, if you're starting from April 1st, it's about 3 weeks away, which is good. I mean, we're gonna work around that last frost date. If I see that temperatures are a little bit warmer, I'm gonna plant a little bit ahead of that last frost date. If I see temperatures in the extended forecast are a little colder, I'm gonna wait a little bit to plant some of these things. So a couple of those things that I'm gonna do after our last frost date will be our bush beans, the pole beans. I got some zinnia seeds. These are all gonna be planted directly into the garden. Cucumbers are another one that I'll plant directly into the garden. I'll probably do some squash as well. Another great thing about that last frost date is around that time, usually about a week or so after, is when I start getting my tomatoes put out. I like to just wait because I don't like to cover them if we do have a frost. But again, we kind of pay attention to the extended forecast with that. So I will also have any flowers like my marigolds and calendulas that I have seedlings of down here. I'll get those planted out. Any celery that I have, I'll get that planted out around that last frost date. So we're talking mid to late April for all this stuff. Now, this year, what I am going to try is I am going to try to plant some things like my bush beans and some, we're going to do a trial with some of the cucumbers and try to get those in early and try to do something with the hoop houses just to see if I can kind of simulate an early start and get a jump on some canning. So we'll see how that works out. So if you guys are watching this and you're not from Zone 6B, when is your last frost date? They're all over the map with things. I've heard even some people in Zone 6B, their last frost date isn't until May sometime. It just depends on your region. You can find out your last frost date by going to almanac.com, and they got a little frost date by zip code. That's about the easiest way to do that. Again, take that with a grain of salt. That's just an estimated last frost date. But leave me down in the comments down below, when is your last frost date? If you guys want to see how my garden turns out and all this planting that's going to be going on in April, we are going to be busy. I should have a lot of footage. Hit that subscribe button, hit those like buttons, leave me a comment down below, guys. God bless, and let's get planting. Cheers, everybody.